welcome back to my bathroom. This is actually my bathroom. I was previously in my parents' bathroom before, but this will be the usual scenery. Today I'm going to be doing a face mask. So I'm just gonna use this cheap one that I got at Target. It's the Cabela Deep Cleansing Pink Clay Mud Mask, and it has grapeseed oil, witch hazel water, dead sea salt, and niacinamide. And so I'm gonna wash my face first with my CosRX Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser, even though it's nighttime. And then put this on, and while that sits, which how long does that have to sit for, by the way? 15 minutes. While that sits for 15 minutes, I am going to clean up my cuticles because they're looking a little rough. And so I actually think I need to go grab nail polish remover because I have a base coat on, and I think I need to take that off to start this process. So I'll actually be right back. Taking off my Oura ring. Gus is here. Just moral support, I guess. While I do all this, I figured I would talk about my favorite thing ever, aka pop culture. So just what's gone down on the internet / TV this past week, because I feel like it's been so much. I am a big fan of the Do We Know Them podcast here on YouTube with Jessie Smiles and Lily Marston. Jessie from Vine originally, and then YouTube, and then Lily's from Clever, like Beauty Break back in the day. I am 99% positive I've seen every episode of the podcast. I was there when they announced that they were going to be doing it, because I would always go back to Jessie's YouTube page and be like, oh my God, why doesn't she post more? Because I loved her content. And then they announced this, and I was super excited. Have been watching every episode, hear from the Deaf Noodles, CCR days, all the things. And until I literally just watched Friday's episode. I think I finished it this morning. Okay, first things first, gonna wash my face. But that is where I get my TikTok drama that I'm not a part of, even though I will say typically I've seen some of it. I don't think I've ever washed my face from a seated position before, so that was really strange, and I honestly don't know if I even cleansed my skin that well, but it was the angle. Probably won't be doing that again. Anyway, now I'm gonna do this. Gus is kind of having, I think I've done this face mask before. Now that I opened it, I had deja vu of looking at it, but I'm not positive. Hopefully it doesn't break me out more, in an as in a reaction way, and just is getting what needs to get out. But anyway, what was I saying? Okay, so I'm just gonna start putting that on, and I realize now that I said I was gonna do my nails while this sat, but I need my glasses to do that. So I'm gonna have to put my glasses on over this, which probably not what you should be doing, but things happen, and you just gotta work with what you got, because life's hard when you're a Four Eyes. Okay, now onto the TikTok drama. I didn't know any of the lore of Anna Paul and Michaela. The only little bit of Anna Paul lore that I knew was when she had that issue with Veruca? I was gonna say Veronica, but I think it was Veruca Salt. When, oh my gosh, my dog is freaking out right now, and I don't know why. Also, this is getting all up in my hair, and I purposefully wasn't gonna wash my hair tonight. I might have to change that idea. Okay, anyway. I only knew she existed from the Veruca Salt stuff that happened. I don't even know when that was. It feels like 17 years ago, but it was probably within the past year. Anyway, I just knew that she was a wealthy Australian, and her dad liked being a nomad, and Veruca Salt was saying that she wasn't helping her dad, who was unhomed, and she was trying to get her canceled, basically, and so that's what I know. And it seemed like everyone was on Anna Paul's side during that, And so I was confused when I saw this come back up, because I was like, oh, I thought this girl already had drama and it was gone. And again, it was so long ago, but the video came up and I didn't know any of the lore, so I just skipped it because the girl talked real slow. Michaela talks a little slow for me. I have ADHD and I need things more fast-paced. And so I skipped it, but I watched it on the Do We Know Them podcast, my queens. So now I'm caught up. And the issue with me is I see a lot of things from like all perspectives. It makes it hard to form an opinion, because I'm like, okay, I see this, oh, but then I also see that, and I also see that. And so the thing I'm like struggling with this is, oh, for background, by the way, Michaela is saying that, what's her name? Anna Paul, who, by the way, she has, she's big on like TikTok and Instagram from what I can tell, but she also has an OnlyFans, and she was basically doing like a lottery and announcing it on her other platforms, being like, hey, if you sign up for my OnlyFans, like I'm giving people money, I'm giving away money on my OnlyFans. And so if you subscribe, or if you follow, or I don't know the terminology for OnlyFans, but if you like add me on there or something, or if you pay for my stuff there, you have a chance of winning money from me. And so essentially a lottery. And okay, enough of that. What's funny is I was talking about how I watch Lily and Jesse, and Lily always talks about how she hates when people do two things at once. Like, if you're doing a face mask, just do a face mask. Like, why also talk during it? But she says it mainly bothers her when people do it for like really important things, and this is obviously not important. This is just for funsies. Anyway, I'm gonna heat up my water so that I can put it in this bowl so that I can, away. And then I'm gonna wait for this to dry a little bit so that I can put my glasses on it so I don't immediately put it on there. So BRB while this water heats up. Okay, I'm gonna put my left hand in first so that I can use my better hand first. Anyway, so she was basically doing a lottery, which from what I found out through the Do We Know Them podcast, isn't illegal in the part of Australia that she lives in, which I don't remember, so sorry. But essentially, she was getting called out for that, and then I did not spread this on that well. Now that I have my glasses on, the thing is with glasses that's really hard is you can't see when you don't have them on. So then you do shit like this, and you can't see if you're spreading it right. Like now, I'm like, oh wow, I can see. And this is also like skin colored, which made it harder. And so anyway, also I like that I said the girl was a slow talker, and I feel like I'm being a slow talker in this. Anyway, Michaela started calling Anna Paul out for this lottery scheme, and then being like, by the way, she's also just a shit person. And it's interesting because she very much was like buddy-buddy with her for a long time, because she was dating Anna Paul's brother, which turned out that was an abusive relationship, or so alleged by Michaela. I always try to believe victims, but Blake Lively really tested me recently, let's just say. And anyway, that whole thing happened. She comes out and alleges a ton of stuff about her and is like, your brother was stealing money from me, he was abusing me, and you knew about it, and you still try to set him up with like your other friends, and also like you're just a bad person, you like talk shit about your fans and all this stuff. And then other people started coming out to her defense, not her defense, to Michaela's defense, like backing up what she's saying about Anna. And Anna has not come out and said anything so far, but like a lot of people have also started talking crap about Anna. But what I was trying to get at with all of this is, what I never understand about this is waiting so long to say things. And this is where I go back and forth, because I'm like, okay, she waited because, you know, she was being abused by this person, and then after a while she was just like, you know what, it's in the past. But then she waits for something to come up and be like, okay, now I'm gonna join in and I'm gonna dogpile on this person. And I just always feel so weird about things like that, because I'm like, did you have all this information and you kept it to yourself. But in cases of abuse, it's always even harder because there is that like blocks you from being able to say something, you know, like there's the trauma and you're a victim of something. So it's harder to come forward with your story. But even like other little things about Anna, about her like fat shaming her fans behind their backs when she's apparently a big like body positivity girl. And it's like, okay, well, you could have said something then, you know, like I just always feel weird. And that was the whole point of this, was saying I never understand when that sort of thing happens. Like, what are your motives? And not that the motive should matter if the information is true. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with the Olive and June cuticle remover and just, and just like put it around. Oh, wow, oh, this is drippy. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna put it on my cuticles and then stick my hand back in the water. Okay. I have really, really bad cuticles. Like, they are so dry, and I have a lot of them. Anytime I go to the nail salon, they're like, I'm like, yeah, sorry, that's me. Where did my cuticle stick pusher thing go? Okay, this is also Olive and June. Olive and June, sponsor me. It's the Manny cuticle pusher, this little thing. So hopefully I can open this with one hand. Again, did not think this through. So anyway, that's all the tea on that, really, is just, I never understand. And so I want to talk about that. The other thing that's been big and popping is obviously the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni thing, that whole lawsuit. And I started looking at the website that Justin Baldoni's lawyers came out with. It's, I believe, thelawsuitinfo.com, I think is the website. And it is 168 pages of an amendment to the lawsuit with full timeline, full facts, full everything. And I want to talk about the theory, I believe, which is, okay, so Justin Baldoni bought the rights to this in 2019, to the movie, or to the book to become a movie. Talked with Colleen Hoover, told her about how he wanted to work with DV victims and all of that. And essentially seemed like and that's the thing, like he always like seemed like a really good guy, so that's why it was shocking when it came out. Okay, now I'm gonna start pushing my cuticles back. And oh, okay, this is plastic. I thought it was, oh, but wow, this works really well. Okay, I have metal ones that don't work this good. Okay, slay. Was like shocked and saddened to hear, but again, as shocked as you can be about something that comes out about a man. And then because I believe victims, I immediately believed Blake, and then now more information has come out. I flip-flopped a couple times, and not a couple times, I think just I was on his side initially and then her side, and then he came out with more information. I went back to his side, but was pensive, and you know, I considered the fact that there could be more that came out from either side. And so I've been weary to share my opinion, but here I am. Okay, so my theory is because he was so involved in learning about DV and victims and helping women, he essentially, I feel bad like alleging this, but he saw certain things in their relationship, Blake's and her husband's, and with that, Ryan started to notice that he was catching on, and so he orchestrated this whole thing to basically get Justin to like be quiet. Because the theory I never believed in really was that they had fallen in love with each other, or one had fallen in love with the other. I really never thought that Justin was into Blake, and I never thought Blake was into Justin. I just never got that vibe. I know from the video, everyone was like, how could you not fall in love with him after him like kissing on your neck like that? It's like, one, they're actors. That's literally their job. And I don't know. I just didn't think that. It could still be the case. I don't know. But this one just makes sense to me because it does seem like a lot of it happened when Ryan came home from filming his movie. And that's when the vibe shift happened and she became more assertive in demanding things on set. And so, okay, now I'm using the trim cuticle remover. What is this called? Cuticle cutter? I don't know. It's called an alicate in Portuguese, and that's what I always refer to it as. But this isn't my favorite one, but the other brands were out and I couldn't find mine. So yeah, this is what we're working with. But yeah, this one's so thick, damn. But anyway, I feel like that could potentially be the real story, is that he saw something there and Ryan was worried he would come out with it. And they tried to use like the tabloids and the media to keep him quiet by having everyone turn against him, and making him no longer reliable by alleging what they alleged against him, SH claims. And so that is where I'm leaning. But also it could just be that they just quite plainly are bad people and just wanted rights to the movie. And they knew the only way they could get it back from Justin, because they had asked and he was not willing to give it up, was if he had it taken away from him. And in the contract it said it was if something like this came out. And so I think that could also just be it. I don't know. Other news is Love Island All-Stars. I've been a big fan this season. I like All-Star seasons. I like when they join people from all the other ones, because now I already know the people. I don't have to waste time getting to know these people and seeing their vibe and seeing if they match with other people. There are some that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know Ronnie and Harriet, Grace, Naz, Scott, Tina. Like, I started watching Love Island UK season 5, and then I watched until season 10, I believe. And so I knew, like, Casey, Catherine, Luca, Ekin, Curtis, Olivia, Kaz. Kaz I actually knew not from Love Island, but from The Challenge. Oh, Elma. I knew Elma. Ron. Yeah, so I knew half the people before, and so I liked that because I could kind of already get a vibe. I was thinking Luca was being real weird in the beginning of all this. I was like, why is he acting so reserved and quiet and timid? I thought that was strange, because if you saw his season, that was very much not the case. But he started to open up a bit more. It looks like he just had some trauma. These are the worst cuticle things ever. Like, I might give up. I might just give up. Also, this is starting to dry, so that's fun. Yeah, like, I did one nail, and it's literally, it's gonna take me 17 years to do this. But I already pushed back the cuticles. I guess I could just do a rough cut and then try and steal my mom's and do it again later. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But, ooh, cut myself. See, because these suck. Sorry, trim, but no bueno. I try to buy the Japan Sonic, something like that one. But they were sold out, so that sucks. Anyway, with that, I have been liking Luca and Grace together. Did not expect that, but I have been. So, who else? Oh, Ekin and Curtis. I, from the get-go, was like, this ain't it. This isn't it. It seemed so fake and forced to me the entire time, and so many people told me I was wrong on TikTok. They were like, you are an absolute buffoon. These people are in love with each other. They are made for each other. And I said, are you talking about Ekin and Curtis? Ekin and Curtis? The one on Love Island All-Star? You sure? Them? Made for each other? But no, people wanted to come for me and be like, no, they're each other's balance and this and that. They literally never made sense from the beginning. You heard it here first, folks, except you didn't. Anyway, they finally seem to be fizzling out. We'll see in today's episode who he picked. I know it's already out technically UK time, but I haven't watched it, so I don't know who he picked. And I hope that is done. I hope Ekin and Curtis are over. Sorry to the people that liked them. I thought it was fake from the beginning. And they were just too quick. So they were like waiting for something to come in and break them up. Like you could tell they were itching for something, someone, a bombshell, to come in and either sweep Curtis or Ekin off their feet. And it finally happened because they were so quick with the fight. Like when they had the kissing challenge, they were already fighting far too quickly. They were literally grasping at straws to have an argument, to be like, oh, okay, yeah, now I have doubt. Oh, and I was like, you wanted doubt. So glad that's over. Scott, dude, you're 36 and afraid of commitment. So why are you on Love Island? Get out of here. You're wasting my time. Get off my screen. I'm glad they sent Naz home. He was there far too long, in my opinion, because I love Catherine. And I was really rooting for her. And so I wanted it to work with Naz because I wanted it to work for her with someone. But he just was not giving her what she was asking for. And she straight up told him multiple times, this is what I want. And he still didn't give it to her. And so, sorry, you gotta go. Ronnie, Elma, Harriet, Kaz. Ronnie, from the get-go, Ronnie was just the worst. He straight up lied about not leaning in to Kaz and it being mutual. It wasn't. I went back to watch because I was like, I was easily convinced. Not really. I knew he was lying. But I was like, let me be sure before I j'accuse, you know? And so I went back, and he was, in fact, a liar, liar, pants on fire. He was. He said that it was mutual. It was not. He leaned far over and asked her first, like, oh, is it too soon for a kiss? Yeah, so he's a little shit boy, but I get the whole, oh, well, they were friends. She shouldn't have taken him to the secret garden, and, like, Kaz was friends with Elma, so she shouldn't have done this. Yeah. I always blame the man. So the root cause here is Ronnie. And then he just always he was going to leave quick vibes. Like, he was just in it because he wanted to stay on the show. He didn't actually give, like, cares too much about Elma vibes to me. And then his turnaround to Harriet when she comes in, he's like, oh, I love you. I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love with you. It's like, you had to see her again like, you came on this show. What are you doing? Also, Harriet, you knew he was in there. Why would you go back in? I would not go back into a villa if I knew my ex was in there. Why did you choose to? Because you watch it before going in. And so that was weird to me, but whatever, I guess. And then being like, I'm not here to get him back. It's like, okay, but you knew that. I don't know. I'm glad they're together, I guess, because I don't care about either of them, so hopefully they get voted off soon. Sorry, not sorry. I feel like those are the important people, honestly. Scott and Tina. Oh, Elma and Sammy. I hated Sammy his season. I said it. I'm sorry, someone need to say it. Sammy sucked in his season. I don't know how he won. To this day, I was talking to my sister about it because she didn't watch his season. And I was like, oh, he's the worst. I hate him so much. She was like, didn't he win? I was like, yeah, he didn't. Or before she said, didn't he win? She was like, I was like, oh, he's the worst. Like, he didn't even like his girl that much. Like, not for real. And she was like, didn't he win? And I was like, yeah, technically he won. But that's just because people are fools and they fell for it. And also, I don't think he's cute. I know I'm on the opposite end of most people there. I don't see what they see in him. But also, Elma's 32 and he's 23. I don't see this lasting longer than a week. And a week, I think, is being very generous. I don't see it lasting. And so, hey, call me a hater, but I am. I'm a hater. I am actually a hater of a lot of things, not just people on Love Island. And I'll flat out say it. I dislike a lot of things, and I'm a judgy person. I'm so judgy. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell my judgments to the internet. And you don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like them. But don't tell me, because I don't care. I do occasionally get into the TikTok comment back and forth with people when they disagree with my opinions. But that's just because it's fun. Like, my sisters will be like, why are you giving them the time of day? And like, it's not that I'm giving them the time of day. I'm enjoying this back and forth. Like, I'm enjoying arguing. And so that's why I do it. Anyway, now onto the traders. Oh my goodness. Tom Sandoval. He is the biggest buffoon in all buffoons. Just of all buffoons in all the buffoon lands, Tom Sandoval is the biggest one. He is just, the buffoonery has gone on for years and it continues to make him money, and that's what astonishes me. I'm like, I wish I was making money by being, actually no, I don't wish I was making money being like him, but I do wish I was not having to work hard for money, and that seems to be his life. And I think that's unfair. I wish he didn't make as much money as he did. There, I said it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that either, but here I am, okay? I feel like I'm getting more and more heated as this goes. Boston Rob, I think he came in hot. He came in hot, and with going against a fellow trader so soon, like it was week 2 for him, week 3 for the rest of the house, and he was just like, we gotta get Bob the Drag Queen out, and actually didn't tell his other traders. It was kind of like a surprise. He was like, I didn't have time. Still, I think it was too much too soon, and so that's thrown off the entire traders culture. Like within the actual traders, like in the turret, like the 3 of them, they don't trust each other at all, have flat out said it to each other multiple times. And it's really ruined it for me, because I like when they're like plotting together and like, like they're just making it so obvious that I do hope they get found out. I hope they get found out and banished, and then new traders come in. Like they recruit people, and then those people remain the traders, because these ones, they don't deserve to win the money. They don't. I'm enjoying Carolyn because she's all over the place. She is me if I were on the trader. Because she's a little too much, and I love that for her. I love that so much, but I unfortunately don't see it lasting in the same way that I wouldn't see myself lasting as a trader. And hopefully the others leave and just Carolyn stays, but I feel like Danielle has kind of ruined that for her. She's kind of pointed it out, and then Carolyn's actions kind of backed up Danielle's theory, and now people are catching on. So we'll see. Derek Levasseur, who I watch pretty, not regularly, but pretty often on the Crime Weekly podcast, the one he has with Stephanie Harlow. And I like him. I like his perception of things as much as I like any cop, which is to a limit. It is capped. And so I like his thought process is actually what I mean. I like his strategies, and I really loved the way he broke things down at the round table and was like, okay, point A, B, C with evidence, facts, receipts, timelines, screenshots, whatever that quote is. And I don't know how more people didn't go with him. They were really going on Wes. I'm mainly just talking about episode 6 right now, but they were mainly going on Wes because he's annoying. And I was like, okay, so none of y'all watch The Challenge. You guys haven't seen him on other reality TV, because that is prime Wes. That is Wes to a T, like in a box on TV, like that has always been Wes. So clearly y'all just didn't know him. And it was almost a dead giveaway that he was a traitor, because he was, and it's what he said. He was like, you think if I were a traitor, I would have come in as aggressive? He probably would have. But in a slightly, like a different form of aggressiveness. But it was just like so obvious to me that he wasn't a traitor. And they were like, I don't like him, and so we have to banish him. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but did we have facts that he was a traitor? Not at all. Not even in the slightest. And so they wasted a banishment, in my opinion, because Derek really laid out the facts, and he got a good chunk of people. He got 4 other people. to side with him. And so they were only 2 votes off. And I wish they could have done it. I did think it was funny that Tom was like, I just really liked the evidence you brought. And I'm like, yeah, Tom, because that's what evidence is. Not whatever it was that you were trying to bring up about Dolores. Because, oh my God, it was so funny. When she was like, no, I don't even care. Like, let him talk because obviously it's not going to make sense. Boy, you got owned. I love that. She burned him so bad. A fun fact, when I was a kid, I used to say, you burnt my cookie, or she burnt your cookie, like a lot, and I almost just said that. Anyway, what else was like my big thoughts? Oh, Dylan has kind of fallen off. He was really hot physically and also just in the game. The first 3 weeks, he remains hot physically, but in the game, he was like on the tail, he was on it. And where did that go? You know? And so I'm hoping Derek is able to bring him back in if Derek doesn't get murdered. I think it looks bad for Rob either way. If he convinces the other traitors to murder Derek tonight, or before episode 7, which comes out on Thursday. Today's Sunday. If he convinces it, like, it's gonna look like it was him, and it's gonna give it away. And if he doesn't, Derek's just gonna have more time to get more people against Rob, and then he's gonna get banished. And so either way, it's not looking good for Rob. And so don't know what they'll decide, but they're not the smartest strategic game player traitors we've had before. So I honestly couldn't tell you what they're gonna do because it doesn't seem like they even know. It kind of seems like they just make up a decision in the moment. But I have been enjoying it. What else? Oh, last thing I want to talk about. Actually, 2 things. First off, Beyonce's going on tour. Beyonce's going on tour. Beyonce's going on tour. Cowboy Carter tour. I can't wait. Oh my God. I know it's going to be $8 bajillion and I don't have that, especially not in this economy, but I need it for my soul. I went to the Renaissance tour and it was my first ever Beyonce concert and it was everything I could have dreamed of and more. And I loved the Cowboy Carter album so much that I need to see it performed live. I live in the South. I live in the South and I do not own, nor do I ever wish to own, a pair of cowboy boots and cowboy hat. But the way I will rock a pair of cowboy boots and cowboy hat for Beyonce at the Cowboy Carter tour, I will go full cowgirl. Yeehaw, giddy up, ride a horse, save a cowboy. What is it? Whatever the phrase is for Beyonce. I will throw away everything I've ever thought about cowboy boots and cowboy hats out the door. And I will wear them for the rest of eternity if Beyonce asks me to, as long as I get to go to that tour. I would give my blood for that. No one wants my blood because it's not good. Low iron. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I have von Willebrands. I bleed out very thin blood. It's a whole thing. Anyway, I would give my blood for this if someone wanted it. And so if anyone does, any vampires are watching this and I have now enticed you, let me know and we can work out a deal as long as you pay for my Cowboy Carter tour tickets. Anyway, very excited about that. My final one that I was going to land on is the American woman in Pakistan. So this woman met, I don't know how old she is. I believe it said in her 30s. Don't quote me. Don't remember fully. But she met a 19-year-old Pakistani boy on the internet. And she flew out to Pakistan to meet him. He saw her at the airport and said, never mind, and walked away. Which, that in itself, a story. Fantastic. I love that. That's so funny. But then it gets worse because now she's like, the Pakistani government owes me and needs to reimburse me for this whole experience. And so she initially was asking for $5,000. She said, you guys give me $5,000. I'll go back to it. Because now she's refusing to leave Pakistan. And she's like, you guys give me $5,000 and a place to stay and I'll leave. And then she upped it to $20,000. The most recent one I saw was at $100,000. She's asking the Pakistani government for $100,000 to leave their country. I do believe they gave her a hotel room, which is so funny, but she's basically become a celebrity to them. Like, they're following her around. Like, she just has a camera crew. Like, she has like a full, like a whole group of multiple camera people, like reporters with microphones, and she is like taking and like asking questions back to them. It's hilarious. I am worried that something could happen to her, but alas, it's been hilarious, and so I'm enjoying it. But that was my most recent little TikTok drama that I fell into. Really enjoyed that. Oh, last one. I know I just thought about that one, but last one, Molly Rudder coming back to TikTok after like 4 days. Molly. Listen, girl. We knew you wouldn't stay away long, okay? I meant to check actually if she is up to 10,000 followers yet, because last night she was at 5,000, and I'm interested to see if she is at 10,000 already and is able to apply for the Creator Fund, because I think that was her goal all along. I don't know, but I knew she wasn't gonna stay away, and she's back, and she is such a hot mess express, that I am glad she's back, because now I have a place to keep up with it, because I was not gonna watch long form Molly Rudder. I could barely watch a few, like 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes of Molly Rudder was far too long for me. So long form content I couldn't do. Also, I need to take this face mask off. Oh my God, it's been 45 minutes. You know what? It happens to the best of us. Okay, gotta get it off my glasses first. Actually, I don't have to do that first, but I'm choosing to. I have to stand up for this part because I can't, like I said, I can't do this seated. I should have just done a skincare video. But anyway, this is what it turned out like by the by. Okay, this is how it dried. We'll see if it does anything. Let me wash this off now. Okay, now that that's done, I'm gonna spray some hypochlorous acid on my face. Oh, by the way, hopefully I got all of that off. Again, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see. But then I shall go in with something next, and that is TBH. I'm gonna go in with this glow serum. It's propolis and more niacinamide. Big fan of this right here. Ooh. I grew up spraying propolis on my throat because it's like a natural antibiotic or something in my throat, and that shit used to burn so bad. Oh my God. It's like a very Brazilian thing. I would say Latin, but I'm not positive if the rest of Latin America does it, but I know that Brazil is big on propolis spray in your throat. And I have 2 sisters, and my mom, whenever one of us was sick, is what I was trying to say, she would go in and spray it in all our throats to like just help us and prevent anything, because she was like, ain't no way I'm dealing with 3 sick kids. And honestly, she's right for that. But oh my God, my camera's dying. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my multi-peptide moisturizer from Naturium, and then I'll be done. And that's it. Okay, hope y'all enjoyed. Peace out, Girl Scout. Catch you on the flippity flip, and slay on, okay? I don't know how to end these things. What am I supposed to say? All right, stay rad.